Hi guys, welcome to Chalchitra Talks. मेरा नाम दिशा है and today I am sitting down to talk to you about some of my comfort watches. And I thought what better way to do that than while doing one of the most comforting things ever, painting. This is not a recommendations video per se because a lot of the titles that I'm about to discuss are fairly popular. I just wanted to give you a peek into what I tend to turn to when I'm feeling a little low. Also, let us not have very high expectations from my art because I'm not formally trained and I haven't painted in God knows how long. So there's no telling how this is going to end up. I am using a picture of a painting by an artist called Ellie Smallwood as a reference for what I'm painting, and I highly insist that you go check out her Instagram. She's one of my favorite artists. When I'm in a foggy space of mind, I usually like rewatching things, and one of my all-time favorite TV shows is Parks and Recreation. This show has never ever failed to cheer me up. I have a very strong belief that there is nothing in life that a couple of episodes of Parks and Recreation can't fix for me. Silicon Valley and Derry Girls are two other hilarious shows that have also never failed to snap me out of a funk. All of these shows have incredibly well-defined characters with such realistic development, which I think is what makes them so special for me. When I am not in the mood for something funny, I usually watch The Midnight Diner on Netflix, which is one of the coziest shows I've ever seen. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, it is a Japanese series which tells stories about ordinary people from all walks of life who come to eat at this little diner which is open between midnight and 7 a.m. There are also a few Hindi shows that I watch to feel transported back in time when things were far more simpler, like Sara Bhai vs. Sara Bhai, Khichdi, and even Zindagi Gulzar Hai on days when I'm in the space to overlook the problematic stuff. This is a fairly recent discovery of mine. I have been loving watching Disney nature movies. Disney makes these very engaging, informative, and unbearably cute documentary films on animals. Because they're made for kids, the information aspect of it is done in a very light-hearted manner, which is what makes it a perfect comfort watch. So far, I've seen the one on elephants and penguins, and I can't wait to watch the rest. When I want to cry it out, I usually turn to anime. Two of the shows that I'm about to discuss are sad, deal with heavy topics, and will definitely make you cry, but in a feel-good way rather than in a harrowing way. The first one is called Orange, which is about the 16-year-old girl who gets a letter from her future self detailing actions that she needs to take in order to prevent her friend from falling into depression and taking his own life. The next one is called Anohana, which is the story of the 6 childhood friends who drift apart after the death of one of the members of their group. The story follows as 5 of them reunite as adults when the ghost of their dead friend appears, demanding that they grant her her final wish. I keep revisiting both these shows for the same comforting takeaway that I'd gotten from them years back, which is some people are not meant to be in your life forever, which is a very tough fact to come to terms with. But the sooner you can do that, the sooner you can start paying attention to the important thing, which is to make the best out of whatever little time you do have with them. Through and through, heartwarming, wholesome, and comforting anime is Barakomon. It is about this 23-year-old calligrapher with anger issues who punches another famous calligrapher, and as punishment for this, he is exiled to a small island. As somebody who's never lived outside the city, his interactions with people from this tiny remote island and his process of adapting to their ways is hilarious and touching. I love watching things where the characters make a mistake and have to start their life from scratch, and this theme has been explored very well in this animation. I also partake in binging a little bit of YouTube. My favorite channel right now is called You Suck at Cooking. This is a regular cooking show with a heavy dose of internet humor. Their videos have preserved the classic old school YouTube vibe, which is what makes them so appealing. There's also this channel called Dancing Bacons, on which they do a series in which the host goes and tries weird convenience store food or self-heating food, which for some reason is so fascinating. I have spent hours together looking at those videos. Another channel that takes up way too much of my time is First We Feast, especially the series Hot Ones with Sean Evans. I love those interviews. Some non-food related videos that I do watch are re-uploads of Joji vlogs. So I have been following the work of the very famous artist Joji right from when he was a YouTuber. There was a brief period in which he had started a vlog channel, which he later on went to delete along with all the videos. Those videos were my first proper introduction to the concept of vlogging. In those vlogs, he had documented his life as a student shuffling between New York and Japan. It's weird for me, someone who was in their youth, to say this, but those videos are ripe with this enviable carefreeness that only youth could bring. I have managed to spill some linseed oil on my shirt, which is probably cue for me to wrap this up. This is the final result. It is an oil painting, so I will have to wait for a few days for it to completely dry so I can go back in and add more details. But I'm pretty happy with what it turned out like. That's all I have for this video. Tell me what your comfort watches are in the comments below, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.